Hello, Veronica. It's Mr. Shawn here again, ready to read another story to you. Hope you're able to listen to these and get them. I've enjoyed recording them for you, and hopefully you're getting them and able to listen to them. So let's see what today is. Again, we're reading some different stories, not your normal stories. These are science stories. So this one is What is Matter? Oof, kind of a big term. A material is a kind of matter. There are many kinds of materials, including wood, plastic, glass, and fur. Really? Fur is a material? I guess it is. So, what has he got in his hand? A glass or a cup. So, what is a cup made out of? What do you think? Think of the cups you have in your house. Some might be made out of plastic. Some might be made out of glass. Some be made out of what's called ceramic or pottery. So that's different material. There you got a plate. The plates can be made out of that same kind of material, plastic or glass even, or the pottery, porcelain. A bowl, same thing, plastic. Some are made out of wood, even plates are made out of wood, cups too. They're not made out of fur. Can't really have a bowl that's made out of fur, maybe leather, which comes from animal skin. You can tell that wood is different from fur because they have different properties. What are properties? Properties are, if it's soft or if it's hard or if it's smooth or if it's rough. So those are different properties. We use many kinds of materials every day. We choose the materials we use based on their properties. So, yeah, like the bowl, because it needs to be shaped in a certain way, you have to have a certain kind of material that will form into that shape. Because you can make wood into a bowl and plastic and glass. So, let's see. Many of the materials we use come from nature. Nature is what? Nature's outside, the trees and the animals and the sun and the stars and moon and the wind and the air. Natural materials come from plants, animals, or the earth. A tree's wood, leaves, and nuts are natural materials, so are fur, leather, and bone. So yeah, oh, look at these nuts, the acorns on the tree. They're not on the tree. And leaves. What do you think leaves are used for? What do you think? Leaves are sometimes used to make roofs, or sometimes leaves can be used to make medicines. But you didn't know that. All right, so what else do we have? Natural materials also include rocks, clay, and metals. So you have to form clay can come from the ground. So do rocks, metals, they come in like silver and gold and nickel and iron and lead are metals, but they have to be what they call refined. You can't use those silver and gold, they're just like rocks. They'll do is they get melted down, so they get heated really hot and they'll melt. And then you can form them into different shapes. Hair, skin, and spit are natural materials too. So he's got hair on his head. I don't have much hair on my head. It's all kind of fallen off. And then your skin is a material. What does your skin do? protects your insides, and it's water resistant. It's not exactly waterproof, but it's pretty close. And spit is a natural material. What you can do with spit, you can spit into mud or into dirt and make it mud, and you can kind of form it on things. Mud, you can cover yourself with mud so that it doesn't get sunburned. Human made materials don't come from plants, animals, or the earth. Human made materials are made by people. Many human materials can start out as natural materials. Glass is a material made from sand. Yep, paper is made from wood, and concrete is made from sand and water. And there's also another um, thing that concrete comes that you put in concrete as well to make it firm up. Sand and water don't do anything by themselves. But did you know that glass comes from sand? So sand on the beach, or what they do is they heat it very, very hot, and then they becomes glass. They add some other materials too, but it's mainly sand. That's pretty interesting. So if you go someplace and maybe a volcano hits some sand, it turns it into glass. And paper is made from wood. Did you know that? So what they do is they chop up the wood really fine, make sawdust out of it, and then they put it in water, and then they add some other materials, and then it becomes paper. It's important to choose the right material when you make something, yeah, like we talked about. Glass is a good material to use for a window. Glass is see-through and it blocks wind and rain. That makes glass a good material for use for windows. Yeah, because you can see through it. You couldn't see through a window, it wouldn't be of much use, would it? Well, it would be. It would block out the wind and the rain and the cold to a certain extent and the heat to a certain extent. We actually got new windows in my house here not too long ago. And the new windows have special properties. They have a gas called argon that is placed between the two pieces of glass, and that helps block the sun and keep the heat in the house and the cold in when I have air conditioning on, and it keeps the heat and the cold out from the outside, and it doesn't come through the window as much as my old windows did. So it saves energy, saves me money. Plastic is a good material for to use for a cup. Plastic is hard and holds its shape. That's a good material for a cup. So what did we talk about? So he's got this plastic cup in his hand. We talked about glass being able to be used for a cup as well, because it also is hard and it holds its shape as well. Same as wood. You can do that with a cup. Doesn't It can get waterlogged if you use it too much, but if you put certain materials on it, other woods are very dense, it's called. They're very hard. So the rain or the water doesn't soak into it too much. But softer woods like pine trees are very what's called porous. They the they're kind of open, so they absorb the water. There can be many ways to describe materials. They can be big or little, they can be hard or soft. Materials can also bend or keep their shape. They can be any color of the rainbow. They can also be see through. What other ways can you describe materials? What do we talk about? Soft or smooth? Some can feel warm or cold. Some of those other things. So look at materials for built for a ship that can be really big. And look at this feather. It can be light weight. A rock is heavier and rougher. Some can be sharp. Edge of a feather can be sharp. All right. Scientists study materials to learn more about what they do. They also try to design new materials to help people. For example, scientists make new fabric to keep people warm and dry. Yeah, they make different kinds of materials. So, like for your coat for the winter time, they put different things inside. Some put down, which are feathers, certain kind of feathers that birds have. They're really tiny, so they can be packed close together. They're lightweight and they are quite warm. But there's new materials that are being developed that are even lighter and keep you warmer and block out the wind. So kind of cool. They make new medicines to keep people healthy. What would you like to learn about materials? They're talking about new medicines for the coronavirus that they're trying to help protect people with, but also for cancer and different things, for headaches, or many different things. So think about what you would like to learn about materials. What would be interesting to you? All right, Veronica. So that's our story for today. I hope you learned a little bit about matter and enjoyed the story. So until next time, bye bye.